Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today is October 23, 2022. Hope you're all doing well. In today's segment, we'll take a look at stocks with very high short ratio. As many of you know, when the short ratio is high, there is a very good chance of a short squeeze. The key is to identify the right set of criteria so you can participate in the short squeeze. So we'll talk through them in today's segment. So let's start with a quick market update. Look, from a market update perspective, market has been wondering where to go, and see we got a market going down of late here, but there is overall the trend is down, but we got some positive sentiment in last couple of days. Look at the last week here, we got a nice rally in last week. We got to see if this is a trend that's going to continue, or are we going to have some fake outs. So with that, let's jump in and look at Nasdaq. As you look through Nasdaq here, same trajectory here. Nasdaq is a little more weaker, as you can see here, and look, trend is negative throughout 2022, as you can see here, but there is a small positive in last week. And then we got here Bitcoin. As many of you know here, flat, not doing much here. It's around the 20,000 mark here. And then you got dollar index. Dollar is getting stronger. That's creating problem for the stock market here. Look, nice rally in the dollar throughout this year 2022. That's causing the stock market to come down. And then you got here lower cap, Russell 2000 here. Same story, going down for the most part. Entire 2022 is a downtrend. And Dow Jones 30, this used to be a benchmark index before, but Dow Jones 30 is not a benchmark, it's a smaller index now. Look, it's trying to go higher. Look, October seems to be good for Dow Jones, with many of these industrials doing very well. All right, now let's jump into the stocks with very high short ratio and see how to benefit from it. All right, so I will take you to a spreadsheet here where I have sorted all these stocks with the high short ratio. So what we'll do in the beginning is to just filter this out with the volume more than 1 million, so that way we don't see all the smaller stocks with the lower volume. So let me just go here and go to the filter here and just say volume is more than 1 million. As you can see here, volume is in thousands, so I can just say volume greater than 1000 here. All right, so this will filter out these small stocks, stocks with the volume less than 1 million. So we'll only get stocks with volume more than 1 million here. All right, so look, you got here short ratio here, or a float short as they call it. So what I've done this time is I've looked at a float short from two sources. So you can take a look at those. We got one source here, float short source, which is Finviz. That's the first column here. It's sorted by that. And the second short score, float score is from Fintel. Fintel, as many of you know, is one of the trusted sources when it comes to short information, and this is a score from Fintel. As you can see here, it varies widely in some cases. So typically I think it may be better to go with the Fintel score. They seem to be a little more up to date on the short ratio here. What I can also do is we'll look at both as we go forward. And then we got here few more columns here. It's very important to know, always look at the insider transactions and institutional transactions. When you see insider buying or selling, that's a very good indication. And then we also have RSI 14-day tells you how is the stock doing from a momentum perspective in 14 days, and 7-day RSI is momentum from a 7-day perspective. And then you got your short interest change. This tells you, did the short interest go up or go down in last 1 month. As you can see here, for ATXI, short interest went up in last 1 month, by 246 percent. That's a very high short interest change. And then you got borrow rate, very important when it comes to trading stocks. The folks who short the stock, they have to pay this borrow rate here. As you can see here for ATXI, it's a very high borrow rate, 219%. And then you got days to cover. This tells you how many days are required to cover the short. The longer days to short will lead to bigger squeezes, as many of you know here. Then you got short squeeze score. This is from our friends in Fintel, and short squeeze score tells you what the likelihood of a short squeeze here. In case of ATXI, likelihood of a short squeeze according to this short squeeze score is 0. And we also have a gamma squeeze score that tells you, based on the stock options market, what's the likelihood of this stock going higher, because there is a very high out of the money options activities. So in this case, ATXI gamma squeeze score is 0. That tells you there is nothing much going on. Don't expect a big short squeeze here. Then you got float, EPS, and so on and so forth here. I always pay attention to the shorter term, 1 day, 5 day, 10 day. If a stock is trying to go slowly higher in 1 day, 5 day, 10 day, that means you can expect a short squeeze. On the other hand, if the stock already made a big move here, don't expect a short squeeze. Instead, you could basically short the stock or buy some put option. So that's a quick setup for you, so you know how to read this here. So with that, let's jump in and look at few stocks here. All right, look, we got here ATXI, like we talked about, nothing much going on here. From a short squeeze score, it's a 0. Probably it's not in play, but look, float is just 1 million shares here. That's why there may be a chance here, even though Fintel thinks squeeze score is 0. But look, we got here stock going down aggressively, as you can see here. And look, short interest change. Folks are really shorting more and more here. Short interest went up in last 1 month here. That's why if you're a speculator, you could buy. But I would say pass. It's not worth your while. You could just pass up and go into next things here. And then you got your APRN, which is a Blue Apron, as many of you know here. Look, Blue Apron, as of now, we got here. Insiders are buying. That's a good story. Nice insider buy here. Institutions are selling, not great. But look, from an RSI perspective, it's getting stronger. Look, 14-day RSI is 39 and 7-day RSI is 44. That tells us this is getting stronger. And we had a nice 20% bounce in last 5 days, and 10 days just a 1.2% bounce. Even up here, RSI is low. You could expect this to go higher. And look, according to gamma squeeze score here, it's actually both short squeeze score is 92.65% and gamma squeeze score is 95.45%. That tells you this stock can go higher. There is a high likelihood the stock will go higher, create a squeeze, because the score is much higher. So that's about Blue Apron here. So if you are a speculative type investor, you could buy some Blue Apron here, mainly because short squeeze score as well as gamma squeeze score both are higher. And it also has a low float, just 8 million shares, as you can see here. Company is not making money, as you can see here. And then you got few more here. As usual, pay attention to days to cover. The higher the days to cover is better. Next one is Bed Bath and Beyond, as you can see here. Bed Bath and Beyond, look, this can create a short squeeze here, mainly because look at the short squeeze score here, 79 above average, and the gamma squeeze score is 93.74. That tells you this can create a good short squeeze here. But look, insiders are selling, not a great story. If you are a patient speculator, you could buy some BBBY, given there is a very good gamma squeeze score here. Obviously, we look at some of these in a little more detail in the charting platform. You always need to look at the charting platform before you pull the plug and go by these here. And then you got a few more here. Keep a watch on both short squeeze as well as a gamma squeeze, very important. And also you could also look at the borrow rate. When the borrow rate is higher, then these folks who want to borrow and short, they'll be a little bit careful. Look, we got a few names like ATXI, very high borrow rate. At this rate, I don't think folks will borrow too much here. And we got a few more here like Beyond Meat. Look at the borrow rate, pretty high here. That's why short sellers will be a little bit careful to borrow with the high borrow rate, like 80% in case of BBB, in case of Beyond Meat here. And this also has a nice squeeze score of 83%. There is not much going on in gamma squeeze, but this also can create some short squeeze type situation if you are a little patient here. And this, I love it when we have got both short squeeze score higher and the gamma squeeze score higher. They got higher chance of short squeeze here. So what we could also do is we could just quickly sort this by high short squeeze score above say 50, and high gamma squeeze score above 50, and look at the shorter list here. Let's quickly do that here. Let me go right here and say short squeeze score above 50 here. And also gamma squeeze score above 50. All right, now we got the candidates here. Look, these could be nice candidates you could look at. We got a lot of these names here with the high short squeeze score and the high gamma squeeze score. These could be ideal candidates. And as you can see here, many of these stocks are already trying to go higher. And also pay attention to the RSI here. Look at the RSI here. When the RSI is higher, above 50 also, you got to be careful. But in this case, we got only one stock here, which is ESTE, with a little bit higher RSI here, which is already participating in a nice short squeeze. Otherwise, it's all lower RSI. This could be your go-to list here, because you got nice short squeeze as well as gamma score in these candidates here. So, so with this, what we could do is here we could just quickly look through here. Look at the short score. Even all these short squeeze score is higher. We got one from Finviz here. We got one from Fintel. Both are higher. I could go in and look at a few more here. Keep watching here. We got high short squeeze, as you can see here. And we got all these stocks here. What I could do now is I could take this list here. Look, we got all the way from APRN, and look, nice list of stocks here. I could take these guys here and copy them and take the charting platform and go from there. So I could go right here and open one of my recent lists here. Let's say short squeeze, or I could open a new document here and just create this list here. So we got here stocks with nice high short squeeze as well as gamma squeeze here. So I'm copying all of them to this spreadsheet here so we can take them into my charting platform here. All right, let's go here to my book one here, and I'll just copy all these guys here, and we got our list here. I'll just save this as a high squeeze. All right, I want to save this as a CSV so I could upload here. Done. So we got here high squeeze here. We got a CSV list here. So once that's done here, I would go to my charting platform, which is TradingView, as many of you know here. You could go here and go into this watch list here. And what I would do is I would create a new watch list here. I will say import list here. All right, so when I import the list here, I could go here to high short squeeze, the CSV that we created, comma separated file, and then we got our high short squeeze list here, as you can see. So top of the list here, apron, blue apron, as you can see here, and right here, look, blue apron. We got a 30 minute chart here. In 30 minutes chart, what do you see here? Nice higher high, as you can see here. That tells you in a 30 minute chart it's doing very well. And look, we got here a 3-day chart here. In a 3-day chart, it's trying to go higher, as you can see here. That tells you blue apron at this time. You could slowly initiate a position here. What we'll do instead of 3-day here, let's change it to 1-day here, so that way we could look at a 1-day perspective here. All right, let's go here. Instead of 3-day, we want to change it to 1-day here. So let's look at the daily chart here. All right, so we got a 1-day chart here. Look, we also have the lazy bear indicator, which is one of my favorite indicator. Lazy bear indicator is telling me, hey, you know what, in a 1-day chart, chart is telling me in a 30-minute chart is trying to go higher, as you can see here. But we got some negative candles coming up here. And look, from a lazy bear indicator here, we got here some of these dots, the bars here, it's turning to a dark green. That tells you there is a little bit selling pressure going on here. And in a longer term, in 1-day here, look, it's trying to go higher. We got a candle here with the negative on Friday here. But look, on the positive side here, these red bars are getting shorter. That tells you there's a good chance that blue apron can go higher. All right, like we looked at the spreadsheet here, blue apron, as I go right here. All right, so blue apron, as you look through here, we got a nice squeeze going on. That's one of the reasons you could, borrow rate is also 26.19 here. Short interest is increasing right now by 14.28%. Float is low. And you could participate. It had a nice 20% bounce in last 5 days, but still parties on. All right, next let's look at BBBY, Bed Bath and Beyond. Look, in a 30-minute chart here, Bed Bath and Beyond wants to go higher, and lazy bear indicator is telling you it's turning around here. These red bars are getting shorter. And in a 1-day chart here, it's trying to see where to go here, flat line, as you can see here. And look, from a chart perspective, tells you there may be some more pain here because you got a bright red bar here, which is a little bit longer. So this is a little bit a longer term play here in Bed Bath and Beyond. And then you got here VTNR. VTNR, as you can see here, stock went higher. And look, this one is trying to party here in a 30-minute chart here, and it's getting stronger. As you can see here, the bar is getting higher. And look, it's in a 1-day chart is getting slightly weaker, but still parties on. You could look at this VTNR also. If I go back to the spreadsheet here, VTNR we got right here, as you can see here. Look, VTNR. And look, it had a nice rally, as you can see here, 1 year 53%, and it's been rallying in 1-day, 5-day, 10-day, and so on and so forth here. And look, a nice short squeeze as well as nice gamma score here. This one could be a good one. It might rally even further. RSI is about 59. It's getting stronger, as you can see here. All right, so we got Carvana as the next one here. Let's look at Carvana. All right, Carvana, like many of you know here, car vending machine. Stock got clobbered. Look, in a 30-minute chart here, it's trying to decide where to go here. We got a one bar here, which is a little bit dark green. That tells you it's maybe getting a little bit tired here. On the positive side here, look, the lazy bear is getting curving up here. The red bars are getting shorter. That tells you there is some light at the end of the candle tunnel here. So you could buy some Carvana here for a short squeeze scenario. As I go back to this here, Carvana, as you can see here, we got Carvana right here, CVNA. And look, we got nice short squeeze score as well as nice gamma squeeze score here. Stock has been getting clobbered off late, as you can see here. This could be a little bit longer term play here, but nice gamma squeeze score, as you can see here. All right, so we got a few more here. We got a few more things going on here. You get the idea how to look at these names here. We got EVGO. Some of these stocks have been doing very well. Look at EVGO. It's partying like no tomorrow. Nice rally in a 30-minute chart, as you can see here. It's showing some strength in a daily chart. Look, there is some positiveness. There is some nice base here. It's trying to bounce off the base here. And stock is also trying to go higher, as you can see here. So this is how you could look at some of these names here. Look, we got Nikola and so on and so forth here. We could take a look at these names here. If you look at Nikola here, look, a nice trajectory here. All these EV stocks are going higher off late here. Look at the strength in a 30-minute chart. Nice strength here. And daily chart is improving, as you can see here. So with that, probably we'll end here. I want to make sure you can take a look at this chart here. We got a nice chart here. Look, we got all the way from blue apron at the top here. And we got all this short squeeze score as well as the gamma squeeze score. You could make use of this and take advantage of this instead of just going off of a high short score. And we got both short interest from Finviz as well as short interest from Fintel here. I think it's a great way to do the short squeeze. If we just look at one data source, you might miss out on the action. I think you should look at multiple data source. So what we'll also do is we'll go into my favorite platform when it comes to short squeeze here, which is Fintel. Let's look at a couple of names here. Like start with the APRN and look at BBBY also. And if I go to this platform here, I like the Fintel platform here. In the Fintel platform, you could do a couple things here. First thing you could do is if you have a subscription to this Fintel platform, which is very low, it's about $25. So if you go for a yearly membership, around $24, very low price here, does not break your bank. I suggest you could look at this subscription to this platform here if you're interested. And what you could do is you could go into shorts here and go to short squeeze US. As you go to short squeeze US, what this platform does is they will basically have a short squeeze leaderboard. As you can see here, this is a short squeeze leaderboard. I think they're doing a great job. This company is a non-promotive company, unlike other companies who push their product. This company seems to be doing a good job, but not overly promotion or overly advertising their screeners here. Look, they got here nice leaderboard here. By looking at the leaderboard, you can see here. Look, we got rank. What the rank of these short squeeze. And then you got ranks change from last week here. And then you got more information, the market cap, short float, change in the short float. Look, in case of PXMD, there is a nice change in the short float here. It tells you the change in the short interest in 1 month basis. In this case, it increased. As you can see here, days to cover. It's a great information. And look at the borrow rate here. If the borrow rate is higher, folks will be thinking twice to borrow. That's why it's a good one here. And then last one, but most important, look, we got a gamma squeeze score here, or a short squeeze score, sorry, that tells you what the likelihood of a short squeeze in these candidates by looking at various factors like short float, borrow rate, and even float, and so on and so forth here. So you could look at this short squeeze score here and select some of these names for your shorting and go from there. Many of in this listing here, they don't have a stock price. As you can see here, there's no volume. That's when you can go into the details and click on some of these names. For example, if you click on some of these names here, PXMD as example, you go into this page here, which is a short interest page. Look, it gives you some summary here, short interest, what it is, days to cover, short interest ratio, days to cover, very important. In this case, within 0.71 days, fraction of a day, they can cover it. That's why it's not very appealing to me. But you could take a look at this also if you're a speculator. And they got short float and so on and so forth. And they give you nice introduction here about the short float. And finally, you could look at the gamma squeeze score here. In this case, there is no gamma squeeze. This is not active in the option market. It's a little stock here. Tells you how is the change happening in the short shares availability. In this case, look, short share availability slightly increased in last 1 day. That tells you supply is there. And then you got your other things like borrow rate. Very important to understand borrow rate. In this case, borrow rate is increasing, as you can see here. As the borrow rate increases, look, we got latest borrow rate. It's increased from previous day here. That tells you folks a little bit careful about borrowing at this time here. And then got more information, as you can see here. This website does a good job collecting all the information here by looking at the volume here, and also has a nice chart here that tells you shares fail to deliver, and there's a nice chart here. You could take advantage of this information also. And they got daily short interest update for the folks who want to look at how is it doing on a daily basis. What we could do is we could look at one or two more here. You could look at, let's go back to our list here. We got here APRN. We could look at APRN here. Look, I'll go here and change it to APRN. All right, so we got here APRN. Look, there is a short days to cover 1.03 that tells you this can go at least 1 day, and nice short float 39%, and nice volume, as you can see here. And then you could go down here. Look, there is a nice short squeeze score, high short squeeze score 92%. Gamma squeeze score is also nice and high, as you can see here. And then you got few more information here. That's why it's a good one. You could take advantage of this one here. Looks like they got some availability came in here 1 day ago. 10,000 shares available at this time. Again, it's a low availability, as you can see here. And we got your borrowing rate here 26.19, increased from 1019, as you can see here. So it's a very good site. You can make sense out of this data here. And some of you have been always asking me about stocks like GameStop. I can bring up GameStop here and just say GME. Look, we got GameStop right now. Look, short interest ratio here, 11.33 days to cover. That's a nice and high short cover number of days here. Short float is nice and high, as you can see here, 20%. And as you scan through here, look, there is also a interesting fact here of exchange short volume ratio. By including dark pool volume is really high. Look, if you include the dark pool volume, short ratio is really high for GameStop here. And then you could look at other things here. Look, there is a nice short squeeze score here, 72%, but the gamma squeeze score is still higher. So gamma squeeze score is a result of multi-factor model, as you can see here. So high gamma score tells you it might stock can go higher. And then you got some more details here about the stock availability. Look, there is a availability went higher by 50,000, as you can see here from 2 days ago. And then you could look at other details about the borrow rate. Borrow rate is also slightly, it's slightly higher from the previous day here. All right, so this is about GameStop here. Then I think folks want to know about AMC. We could bring up AMC here. And as you can see, it's a very good site here. We could subscribe to this very easily. Tells you here we got AMC here, short squeeze ratio 5.53. That tells you this will take about 5.5 days to the squeeze will last for 5.5 days. And there's a nice float here. But if you look at the off exchange float here, nice and high, 51.19, including the dark pool here. And then you could go into the details here. Look, nice short squeeze score here and nice gamma score here that tells you this can go higher. And then you got details here. Look, shares availability is about 350,000, as you can see here. And then you could look at the borrowing rate here. Look, borrow fees is really high here. Folks are a little bit scared to borrow. It came slightly down but still high. It looks like it's coming down. As it's coming down, that tells you folks may be covering their shorts. That's why it's coming down here. Look, it was very high before, now it's coming down. And you could also look at this by looking at the chart here. Let me go back to charting platform. You could say AMC here. And as you look through the AMC here, look, stock is going higher. That tells you, more stocks are available here. Look, AMC is going higher on a 30-minute chart. Also, it's going higher, as you can see here. And that tells you, some of these short squeezes on play right now. That's why more stocks available. Borrowing rate is coming down. You could do same thing for you could do same thing from GameStop here. Just a GME here. All right, GameStop, as you can see here, stock is going higher in 30-minute chart, as you can see here. And look, lazy bear indicator is telling you it's getting stronger. And look, on a daily chart, it's trying to decide where to go here. But there's a nice candle. This can also, go higher. All right, we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.